Today is the first day of 2024, and if you guys are like me, one of the things that you want to achieve this year is improving at Fortnite. Whether you're just starting to compete or you already have your first earnings, anyone can go pro in 2024 if you grind hard enough. In this video, I want to look at some of my ranked games from my grind from gold all the way to unreal, where I'm W keying in champion lobbies against some other good players to help you guys improve your fighting IQ. Before I get into it though, I just want to thank you guys once again. The past week has been so crazy for me, going from 130 subs to almost having 6,000 now, and I just want to say that I appreciate every single one of you who are helping me make my dreams come true. Last thing before we get into the video, I'm hosting a tournament for $120 in my Discord server in a few days, so make sure to join up in playing that. I'll leave the link in the description. Make sure to sub if you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. The first fight we're going to be watching is interesting because it's not necessarily the fight itself that's important here, but how I clean it up. I start this fight off with a nice beam on this player and hit him for 100 before he starts running into this house. I'm chasing him through here, and even though I did have a few opportunities to piece him, he was pretty quick and smart with how he was moving. Now here's where it gets good. I try to ramp up and get height on him, but he drops down and gets a weak shot on me. He then starts boxing up, but I see that he leaves his back wall open, so I was able to get a free shot and crack him. But now if you listen closely, you can hear that a third party is grappling on the fight. Once I hear this, I know that I can't get trapped in this player's builds, but I also want to finish off the fight because he's weak. So what I do is run into his box, but once I kill him, I don't even stop shooting my gun to get out of this guy's box as soon as possible so that the other player can't trap me. It's really important to always be aware of other players around you while you're fighting so you don't die to third parties. Because I was so aware here, I was even able to hit this guy for 90 damage, which led to me killing him later. In this next fight I'm looking at, I start off fighting defensively with this other player smacking on my roof. The first thing that I want to look at in this fight is the play I made to hit this guy for 130 damage and instantly turn the fight in my favor. This is a super common situation that you will be in where people are pickaxing your cones, and when the person you're fighting doesn't place a wall in front of the cone he's hitting, it's always a good play to edit and place your own wall, because once you edit the wall, you'll have a better peek from inside the box, and as you can see, I hit this player for 130 when he could not hit me at all. After I crack this guy's shields, he starts running away and I start chasing him, but what I want you guys to focus on here is how I make sure that my guns are always fully reloaded. It's super important this season to always be reloading your guns because most of them have really long reload times and really low ammo as well, meaning that it's super easy to apply too much pressure to your opponent and completely forget to reload. Because my gun was fully loaded here, I was able to spray his front wall and apply pressure and then instantly change to another wall he wasn't expecting and finish off the fight. This next fight is going to be much shorter, but what I did here that allowed me to quickly finish off this fight against this player was I realized when he had trapped himself, even though the builds he trapped himself in weren't mine. I'm going to go back a little and show the fight right before this one, because after I kill this player, the other one shows up right away. Fighting in old builds is really common in higher ranked lobbies due to the amount of third parties, so being aware of what builds your opponent owns is something that can really help you in higher ranked lobbies and can lead to some nice outplays like this one. Once I realized that this player was walking into this box where he owned none of the walls or floors, I knew that if I cut him off from behind, he would have nowhere else to go, and from there it would be an easy kill. The next tip that I'm going to give you guys is a lot more general, but so few people actually use it, so I thought I would mention it in this video. What I'm talking about is the Burst SMG, which is easily the best gun in the game this season. The gun is the best we've ever seen for pressuring walls, breaking a fully built wood wall in only 2 shots. It also works really well mid and long range for beaming people, and if you get one with the laser attachment, it has 100% accuracy from range, which is just completely insane. If you're trying to W key and rank your tournaments, you need to be carrying this gun. This is the next fight, and this one is also pretty short, but something that I'm sure a lot of you guys can apply to your own game. Right here when I'm driving up to Reckless Railway, I see this player enter this door, and while most of you might be confused as to why this is important, those of you who are very familiar with Reckless Railways would know that that door actually leads to a 1x1 room with no other ways to get out, so I know that if I push him and catch him while he's still in that room, I would be able to kill him easily. While some of you guys might be thinking right now that this example is so specific that you would never be able to use it yourselves, the point I'm trying to make with this clip is that while you're fighting somebody at your drop spot or another POI that you know very well, you can try and trap them in an area which only has a few exits, which you can control in order to force people into you, which can help you finish fights. The next fight we're looking at actually takes place right after the last one, and starts off with me building above this player and hitting him for a bit of damage. He then runs into this building and sets up this right hand peek on me, and when I noticed that his wall was low health, I drop in and with one burst I replace the wall and kill him. What I want to focus on here was the play to drop in and take that wall, because what a lot of people tend to ignore is how weak walls become once they're edited. Most of the time, whenever someone edits on you and you have a burst SMG, you'll be able to take that wall back no matter if it's wood, brick, or metal. However, most people still don't expect this play because of how much they underestimate the damage that the burst does to walls. I'm sure that the player in this fight thought he was completely safe behind this wall and wasn't expecting me to make the risky play of dropping down, but that's exactly why it worked, because he wasn't prepared to shoot me or hold his wall if I fought him. The next clip we're looking at is another one where I'm fighting defensively. However, it starts off with me at full shields ramping up against this other player who tries to build fight me and gets off a nice chop, which makes me take a little fall damage, and he also gets another hard shot on me because I couldn't place a wall on that little brick thing there. At this point, I was boxed up and this guy was trying to apply pressure to my wall, and the key play I make here that helps me win this fight is that I actually don't reset the wall on my left. The two reasons I don't reset it is because if I did, it would make the wall weak and he would be able to take it instantly, but more importantly, it baits him into coming into my box. This is because the wall is edited into a right hand peek for him, and when he tries to run in and get a shot off, I reset the wall right away before he can shoot me, and now he's in a position that allows me to get a free right hand peek and finish off this fight. This is the last fight I want to look at, and what I do here is chop this guy out because I notice he's only standing on one stair, and whenever you chop someone out, what you want to do is track them through the builds that are getting broken and then pre-fire them once they're gone. I see too many people who chop someone out and then try to crank up for high ground, and while this can work, getting a damage advantage on your opponent is always more important. In this case, the player I'm fighting doesn't box up and instead cranks even more, and because I know he's healing and won't drop down, I chop him out again, which forces him to cancel his heals and fight me on low HP, which means I can finish up this fight quickly. That's going to be the last fight, but I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to drop a sub and also join the Discord for the $120 tournament so I can give back to you guys for being the best community on YouTube. Once again, if you made it to the end, thank you so much for enjoying my content. It really means the world to me, so thank you guys, and I hope you all have a happy and successful 2024.